In this video, Lawrence is rolling with Yusef. Now, you've seen Lawrence on the channel a few times. You've seen Yusef a couple of times. I'll post my rolls with them in the description. Yusef is a good white belt. I call him a phenom because he is definitely exceptional for where he is, his level now, and I feel that his potential is very good to see his skill rise in an exponential manner. I was not a phenom when I started. I was quite the opposite. I was more of a spaz. I used a lot of muscle, a lot of speed. So here we go. They're tying up. My old instructor would call this dancing. So he feels that there's no real legitimate takedown attempt. And he feels, he was a judo black belt, so he feels that you should always be going for some type of throw. But in all honesty, the wrestling level of jiu-jitsu players isn't that high. That was a good drop throw on the part of Lawrence. We were just practicing that. He was showing it to us, actually, right before this roll. So it's interesting that he was able to hit it. And Yusef knew it was coming, and he couldn't stop it. But that wasn't Lawrence's first attempt, so he thwarted a couple of attempts. But what happens is when somebody has something really tuned in, they just need that one moment to hit it. That one moment when you're not thinking about it. And I do it with the tripod sweep all the time. That was a nice pass by Larry, but Yusef kind of gave it to him when he turned his hips away from him, and then Lawrence was able to pass over his hamstring and get to north-south. This isn't a good secured north-south position because Lawrence's knees are on the mat. So when his knees are on the mat, his weight is on his knees. And that makes his torso lighter, and it makes it easier to be overpowered or for the guy on bottom to squirm away. So Larry, again, got to his knees, and that gave Yusef the space to bring his knees back in. Yusef still not in a good position. But again, he's making space, bringing his knees back in, because Lawrence's torso isn't on him with his weight. Now, Lawrence put weight on him just now for a second and then went back to the knees. We all make this mistake early on. We don't understand how much our weight feels like on our opponent. When I say early on, I mean under 6 or 7 years of training. Just to clarify, Lawrence has been training a few years at least. Probably 4 or 5. And that's another reason why I call Yusef a phenom, because he's doing really good, you know, against a purple belt. Lawrence is a relatively new purple belt, but Yusef is doing a good job and making him work. So there, before Lawrence could get to mount, he was rolled over. And at Marcelo always stressed, if you get mounted, it's that moment when he lands in mount that you must escape. Because once his weight settles down, it's going to be a lot of work. So here I like the way Yusef is trying to pass. He should put his right knee towards the ceiling, his right foot on the mat, right knee towards the ceiling. That would get rid of those hooks. Lawrence had a dead leg there. He needed to engage, which he did. He made space and brought in his left leg into like a knee shield guard. His right leg is just floating. Oh, now he switched. He looked for the snap down to a possible guillotine. And there he was able to get behind Yusef's tricep, which is super important. If you could ever get here, it's the key to the back. Now, Yusef is very strong and athletic. He's only 18 years old. So he's rolling back and forth, looking for an escape, and Larry was able to finish with the rear naked choke that he basically just spun into. But I'm telling him now that even though he didn't know the pathways there, it was good to see him putting an effort into getting out by turning left and right and just squirming and being squirmy. Never let the person on top really settle in. So even though he got choked, I think he did a good job there, and I think in the future he'll avoid that. So they're starting standing up again. Also, standing up uses a lot of energy, wrestling with somebody. That's why wrestlers are in such good shape. It's hard to take down a resisting opponent. There, he tried to throw Yusef, and as you could see, he thwarted the attempt. But to me, that's a risky situation there. Whenever you try to load somebody up, you could always come down wrong on your knee. So here, he's trying to spin to a leg entanglement. Yusef bails, and now Lawrence is in Yusef's knee shield guard. Good exchange. I'm just coaching a little bit here and there. If I see a glaring mistake where I could say three words and remedy that issue, that's what I'm doing. I'm not really actively coaching either one of them, and I'm not actively either one of their coaches. But I'm a senior classmate, and I'm trying to help them. This is during open mat. So Yusef's good from this position. There, he just did a knee cut. He kind of beat him to the punch. And there, he pulled his leg out and went right into the guillotine. Now, he likes this. This is pretty much his game. And for him to have a game is very impressive as a white belt. So there, he really had a legitimate shot at the guillotine. But Larry was too squirmy for him. So again, right knee towards the ceiling. Turn the hip, right knee towards the ceiling. So he's almost doing it. And that ends the round. That's Jimmy. He's a blue belt competitor, active, very strong. I'm going to do a round with him. That'll be the next video. So that shirt is my new merchandise from X Marshall. I'm going to put the link in the description. If you buy anything from X Marshall, they have all kinds of rash guards, shorts, really great stuff, high quality, very high quality. They sent me a bunch of things. I'll be modeling them over the next videos. But thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you.